my extended project, I chose to make a katana because I have been interested in samurai history for a long time. I decided that making a sword would teach me a great number of new skills such as blacksmithing. Throughout the project I have tried to use traditional methods. The katana, sometimes known as the samurai sword, is arguably the greatest sword ever to be used in battle. Renowned for its unique curved shape, this sword and the samurai who wield it have spawned a large number of popular films and books. During the feudal Japan period, which lasted from the 12th century to the 19th century, the katana was the ultimate weapon, not only a deadly tool to the samurai, but an icon of their class and skill, and an object surrounded by myth and spiritual belief. I decided to build a circular gas furnace. I shaped the kiln bricks to form a circular inner cavity into which the propane torch would point, using a hacksaw to get the rough shape and a file and sandpaper to smooth it out. The circular shape of the cavity causes the flames to create a vortex inside the furnace, wrapping the blade in heat. Before starting the blacksmithing, I visited the forge in Tame to get an idea of what would be involved in the process. The owner very kindly explained the details and gave me a demonstration. He also answered any questions I had. I then began blacksmithing. Before smithing the actual blade, I made various test pieces to gain the experience. For my actual blade, I heated the metal up to 1100 degrees C until it was glowing red, and then brought it over to the anvil. I began hammering down on one side to create the angle of the blade. After the initial shaping, I used a second flat hammer known as the planishing hammer, which I hit with the first hammer to give a much smoother and dent-free finish. The curve you see in the blade was created during this process because of the spreading out of the metal on one side. I then used the linisher, which is a sanding tool, to remove the scale and small dents which are caused by the blacksmithing process. This sped up a process which otherwise would have taken far longer if I were using the file like they did traditionally. The most time-consuming part of the process was filing the surface in order to achieve the shape and smoothness needed for the blade. After coarse filing, I smoothed down the surface by using progressively finer grades of emery cloth. The final polish of the blade was done with Autosolve, a metal polish, which I used as an alternative to Japanese polish. In order for the blade to be sharpened, it first has to be hardened. This process involves heating the blade up to 1100 degrees and then plunging it in a vat of oil so it cools rapidly. The handle consists of the habaki, which is a collar made out of brass. Behind this is the tsuba, a guard made out of mild steel. Both of these parts I cut out and shaped myself. Next, I shaped the wood for the handle using a chisel and sander. Traditionally, the handle was wrapped in ray skin, although I struggled to get hold of this, so I used white leather as an alternative. Around the leather, I wrapped Tusker Ito, a cotton strap designed for wrapping katana handles. Throughout this project I have been faced with many problems and challenges which I have overcome, and other parts which have required a great deal of patience, especially during filing. I have spent over 60 hours working on the sword itself and many more researching it. The sword is made out of mild steel, which is not hard enough to be sharpened, although now I do have the high carbon steel, and in future I will make one that can be sharpened. This was an ambitious project from the beginning. If I were to do it again, I would probably make a shorter sword because of the time involved. I don't regret choosing it. My advice to anybody attempting a similar project would be to keep on top of things, stay safe and have fun.